And good evening. We begin with a hard conversation with 5 women from different walks of life talking about gun violence.
These women are mothers who all lost sons. They share their heartbreaking and courageous stories with our Symone Woolridge, who joins us live now. Symone.
Yeah, these women are really incredible, and as a mother, this story is very close to my heart. Susan, I know you're a mother as well. I am used to sitting where you two are, sadly, reporting on gun violence in Milwaukee, and after each story, I think of victims' families, especially their mothers.
Hi. Come on, ladies.
I went to greet a group of women sitting in our TMJ4 lobby.
So we'll go in this room this way.
Not all knew each other, but had much to talk about before walking through our doors.
Right. And then get everybody mic'd up.
But what they did know, no matter the unfamiliar face, they were seconds away from entering the most comfortable room they've sat in a long time.
Does that work okay for you?
And here's why.
December 7th of 2012 is the day that changed my life.
Colette Shumpert.
I got a call from my son's girlfriend and said, Mom, Mike has been shot. This necklace was bought for me, I think, about 2 Christmases ago. It took me a year to wear it. And it says Michael.
Julie Powells.
February 18th, 2023 this year, I got a call. And I knew something was wrong, but he got trapped between the 2 doors, and the first one shot me in the back. And he stood over him and shot him 6 times. This is his ashes. You know, I don't wear it every day, but days I feel down or whatever and I have to go to work or whatever, I put it on for protection.
Tristica Patrick Yarborough.
July 16th, my son was shot in gun violence on my father's birthday. He was shot in his back in the front on 41st and Capitol. My dad in our family home of 40 years. Actually, this was the last picture that me and Corey took 2 days before he passed, and I wear this every single day.
Melody Villanueva.
August 18, 2018, I get a call around 6:30 p.m. It was his biological father, a man who did not raise my son, that executed my son that day. This is a book of my son. His name was Jakari, middle name Darius.
And Trinica Walker.
I got a call August 6, 2018. So many people came to the funeral, they had to lock the doors.
5 brave and courageous women forced to share a common bond. All are mothers whose children were victims of gun violence. Michael Brown Jr., Jakari Wright, Marquise Powell, Corey Crosby, William Davis Jr. and his nephew Akai William Stylo. These stories are difficult and uncomfortable to hear. We can choose to listen. These moms have no choice but to choose how they define their season of grief.
The grief is starting. I'm back to the first part of grieving. I'm angry now. I'm hurt now. You know, I'm starting to get depressed again.
Julie will soon sit in a courtroom close to the last faces to see her son before his death.
I mean, the grief is so hard. I be so depressed. Some days I can't get out the bed, you know.
For Melody.
Ignoring it.
5 years later.
I still have not really grieved. There is no right or wrong way of grieving from what I learned.
The process hasn't even started. No matter who or how you lost, the rest of the story within your season is up to you.
My foot started one step at a time, one moment at a time. I'm in a place where I can't even imagine.
For Tristica.
He was borrowed to me by God, and I just thank God for the 24 years that I had with him. But sometimes I get like, Lord, why? That was my best friend.
Her New Year's are now spent with her grandson, Caden.
And my grandbaby was right there sitting on his stomach.
A little boy who witnessed his dad's death, but the future today is in his eyes.
I try to teach my grandbaby, we do everything with love. And if we don't fail, we fall forward. We have to keep going.
Taking grief and using it as a superpower is all part of the process for these moms. But sometimes
I get another phone call just last year, 5 o'clock in the morning. Are you sitting down? Where are you?
Just like grief,
We need you to come to your daughter's house. Why? I felt the same thing I felt when Will passed, right then and there. And I began to shout over the phone, what's going on? Why? Why? As I made it to my daughter's house, I learned that my 3-year-old grandson got a hold of her boyfriend's gun, and he turned it on himself. He shot himself in the head.
The pain.
This is why most people don't want to deal with us.
Feels like.
And because grief, loss brings about emotions. It brings about emotions.
It's too much to handle.
And it's uncomfortable. I pray, Lord God, that we will feel your righteous right hand upon us, Lord God, that you, Lord God, have never left us or forsook us, Lord God, even as each one of us face the individuals, Lord God, whether we know them or not, God. You are the God that sit high and look low, and you are the sustainer of our souls, God.
And Chastity just made me cry. That was just a few minutes of our 2.5 conversation. Nothing was off the table. We talked about everything, about how they feel, about the person responsible for their son's death, mistakes they say that they've made as a parent, and the work that they're doing now in the community following their losses. And after talking about loss and grief, and you can just see how Susan, I mean, you're a mom.
I mean, the women are amazing to share their story and to share their story with you, and the pain that you cannot even fathom, the pain that they're going through.
We talked for so long. There is absolutely no way to put every feeling into that story. But even then, you got to think about, even after this, right? You think about the trauma. You think about wanting to get into therapy. One of them said that they have been waiting 7 months to just get a therapy appointment. There's just so many pieces to the story.
So tonight you're going to talk about forgiveness, which seems impossible as well.
And that's the question too. How do you forgive?
Yeah. What ingredient did you find that helped them get through this process? Was it faith and family?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And you can hear it just in that short piece, right? They talked a lot about God and prayer. And I mean, we had to stop in the middle of the interview and they're like, we just need to pray right now.
And they did.
Yep.
Yeah. Symone, thank you.
Yeah, of course.